Hello Legacy students, Miss Marsh here. So today we're going to look at factoring trinomials with AC method and difference of squares. What you're going to want to have on you today: pen or a pencil, that foldable we started making last video, calculator, and then you're also going to want your thinking cap on today. Your learning goals: I can factor a trinomial using AC method if possible, and then I can factor a binomial using difference of squares if applicable. So we have this foldable here. You should have it listed. All of your flaps should look like that. You're going to want to open the trinomial flap right there. So basically open it up so the factor by grouping tab is open up. And at the bottom you should have the trinomial AC method. Whoop, they should have a pencil right here. That's a pencil, not a problem. Alright, so what are we going to do today? Basically, all you need to do is you need to take A times C to get started. Then you're going to ask yourself, what multiplies to make that number and adds to make the middle term? Turn it into a four-term grouping problem then. So, here's the question you're always going to want to ask yourself. You're going to want to go whatever's in front of the x squared, that number, times whatever doesn't have a x. So, 1 times negative 16. Right? So that's negative 16. So my AC is negative 16. Now in my head I need to come up with all the possibilities of 16 that multiply to give me that. So I know 1 and 16 does, or negative 1 and positive 16. I know 1 and negative 16 do. I know 2 and negative 8. I know negative 2 and 8. I know a negative 4 and a positive 4, right? Now I need to see which one of these add to get me my negative 6. So this adds to give me 15. This is negative 15. Negative 6. This one gives me negative 6. Exactly what I was looking for. So 2 and negative 8. So what I can do, instead of writing it as negative 6x, I can actually write this as 2x minus 8x minus 16. So these two things together make a negative 6. So I'm just basically rewriting and finagling the negative 6 to become 2 and negative 8. So then I can fit it into my box that we like so well. So let me do my box. So I'm going to get x squared, 2x, negative 8x, and negative 16. GCF of this right here looks like it's x. GCF of these guys looks like it's x as well. X times 2 will give me 2x, and 2 times negative 8 will give me negative 16. So my factors for this particular problem: x plus 2 and x minus 8. Alright, now let's try this next one here. So let's do our A times C. So A times C is 3 times negative 2, negative 6. So what numbers multiply to give us negative 6? Well, I know 1 and negative 6. I know negative 1 and positive 6. I know negative 3 and positive 2. Positive 3 and negative 2. I think that's it. So if I add these all up, I'll get negative 5 here, positive 5, negative 1, right here. Positive 1. That's what I'm looking for, right? Because I'm looking to get this B term, or the middle term here. So let's rewrite. 3x squared plus 3x minus 2x minus 2. Let's box that. Alright, GCF of these two guys, it looks like it's a 3 and an x, because 3 can come out of both of them, and so can an x. 3x times x is x squared, and then negative 2 times x is negative 2x, and negative 2 times 1 is negative 2x. So my answer, x plus 1, 3x minus 2. This is a lot easier than the possible guess and check method. You can actually come up with this off the top of your head, but it's a lot harder to do because you have to check it so many times. What you can do to make sure you did factor correctly is you can actually multiply this back out, and then you'll see that it actually works to give you that 3x squared plus x minus 2. Okay, flip to the next tab. We're going to look at difference of perfect squares. So identify first. You need to make sure you have a difference. So basically you need to have subtraction between two terms. Then you need to make sure, are they both perfect squares? If they're not, you can't use this method. Then you're going to use it to factor into two factors. One factor is going to look like this, and it's going to have a plus in the middle. The other one is going to look the same way, but it's going to be a minus in the middle. So, and you're going to want to use the square roots of both of them. So let's go ahead and write our template here. One's going to be a plus, one's going to be a minus. So now the square root of x squared is just x. So I know I need to multiply 1 by x and 1 by x. Right? Perfect square. 16 is a perfect square. So if I square root 16, I get 4 and a 4. Now, you're probably asking, why the plus and minus? Here's the reason. So if I multiply this back out, I'm going to get x squared minus 4x plus 4x minus 16, right? These are going to cancel out. So I'm going to be left with x squared minus 16. I need the plus or minus to cancel out those middle term kind of thing. Okay? Let's do the same thing. So I know one's going to be plus and one's going to be minus. So 4x squared, well, 4 is a perfect square, right? So that would be 2, and then x squared would be 2x, right? On both of them, because they're both 2x's. This 9, square root of 9, that's 3. So I'm going to have 2x plus 3 and 2x minus 3. Not too bad, right? Let's try again. 16 and 25 are both perfect squares, so we're good in that regard. So I'm going to have 1 a plus and 1 a minus. Square root of 16 and square root of x, 4x, right? Square root of 25 is 5. So 5 times 5 is negative 25, and 4x times 4x is 16x squared. I'm going to get negative 20x and a positive 20x in the middle, which cancels out. Here, it looks like we have a perfect square here. Negative 7's not a perfect square. Guess I can't factor this. So this one is not factorable. Okay? And that's the end of this video. See you later, Sabers.